Hey, here we are again.
Here we are again.
So, welcome everyone. Welcome, Jeff. You wasn't the first, as Linda pointed out. And yes, she was hiding in the background. Yes, doing
Well, come
unthinkable
on. I want
things
it. I give credit. I give credit where it's due, Mike. You were first here tonight. You know.
by the skin of my teeth.
Um, I like giving our behind the scenes bits for people. Mike actually rang me 4 times, guys.
Yeah.
Oops, I wasn't online. But yeah, we're here now. I've sorted out the dramas with the cat. Did you see Mike? Tashi brought the cat in
Yeah.
and I was waving the cat at you.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah. I saw the
Yeah.
cat. Yeah.
The cat's in a crazy mood because of the rain that we've had here.
The cat's in the cradle, as the song goes.
Yep, that's right. And
welcome,
what was
Joanne.
it with the? Well, that's right, darling. We're all here. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome show coming up too again tonight, Mike. I love what you do, getting these videos together.
Yeah,
It's
quite fun.
Oh
actually.
my gosh.
Yeah,
It's
So
yes.
it turns out last week, Jeff said that he saw the whole show. My stuff showed that it's been blocked, and it turns out it was the David Carradine
There you go.
information.
Copyright? Was it copyright, trademark, whatever you want to call it?
Possible copyright infringement. So you don't even have to be found guilty anymore. Just
you know what? This is something I don't like, Mike. It's like these fact checkers on Facebook.
The what checkers, did you say?
The unfact checkers,
Yeah. No, Jeff, I didn't get a haircut.
The no checkers.
I'm just having a bad hair day, as you can see.
Well, there you go, darling. Look, I'll just frizz mine up a little bit too, so you're feeling the mix here, okay? But these fact checkers, and I uploaded a video to YouTube today, and there's now you go through about 3 pages. Well, you used to go through 3 pages to upload a video. Now there's 4 pages there because there's a check page now. We're just going, so they go through your video to see if there's anything that they don't want on the page. So because I've got a song in my intro, it came up, warning, Will Robinson, burp, burp, copyright, trademark breach. Yeah. Oh, but they give you permission to use it. We'll allow it. So they make us feel special. Oh, we're going to allow you to use it. It's oh my God, it irks me, Mike, because yes, if I put out a song, if I was a famous singer and I had songs out there, I'd want people to pay to use it too. But I can understand that. But these fact checkers and stuff, you can't find out who they are. You don't know who they are. So what's their qualifications? How long have they been doing this? Yeah. What research are they doing to find this stuff out? Have they got secrets files? Are they on the black web trying to find this stuff out to find out if it's true or not? Who are they?
They have on you, Deborah, Linda. They've got one on you. And me, probably.
They get me all the time. They get me all the time. Yeah. Actually, I friended a new girl today, right? And she sent me this friend request, and I thought, who's this girl? So I always click on their name, so it brings up their page.
Yeah.
And I'm going down. This video has been removed, and then the next post that she shared, this one has been false information.
Yeah.
And then the next one, this video has been removed. And I thought, this is my sort of girl. I want this one.
Yeah.
Click, accept.
Yeah.
Now we're friends. I have no idea who she is, but thank goodness, because, I thought I was the only one getting videos and stuff removed. But, I couldn't even see photos that she posted because everything's gotten removed on her page.
A lot of people are moving over to brand YouTube, it's called, where they don't ban anything.
I am writing that down. Brand YouTube.
Yeah. And Jeff says he got copyrighted on YouTube. And
my God, look at all the comments.
And his cousin has been removed 12 times. Well, I think we can say that Jeff and his family are seasoned professionals, seasoned felons. And it's got to stop, Jeff.
Here you go, Jeff. I'll just make you feel good for the night, darling. Here you go. I've got my felon hat on. It's still here. I'm
Serial
waiting for
felons.
the next time I'm in jail.
Joanne says, I'm boring. I don't get into trouble. Same me. It's depressing me, Joanne, that I haven't got any status of being banned. I'm going to have to work harder on this. So,
well, you know, and the worst thing is, I don't even know what I did to put myself into jail. Yeah. You know, I really do. I just got this thing, and it said, whatever I posted, because I can't even remember for the life of me, but it said, your post goes against community standards. Yeah. You can't even find out what the post was because they don't show you. Yeah. And then they don't say what was the breach because they don't show you. And then you can't even know who the person was that fact-checked you, so then you can ban them and block them and get rid of them. So that's out of the equation as well.
Well, you listen, know, it's Jeff wants one of those. Jeff wants one of those hats. And he also says that's easy for me to fix. So when Jeff does an online course on how to get banned on social media, I'm signing up. So, but listen, let's talk about what we got on site, because we got a lot of stuff.
I know,
right?
I know. I've got my list.
We're gonna hear from Robbert van den Broeke again, the guy that takes well, apparently doesn't even have to take photographs now; they just appear. Jeff's on bail. Good for you. So we're going to hear from Robbert. We're going to hear from a policewoman who had a hitchhiker who wasn't of this world. More footage from Gettysburg, of which you're going to debunk one of these.
Yep. That's right.
A normie called Roy Goodwin, who was rescued by an angel. We're going to hear an EVP from a reading I gave where this lady's dog come through with absolute clarity. And I'll tell more about that as we go along. And also the work, we finish off with the wonderful work of Colin Fry, who's no longer with us, sadly, but an excellent medium.
Excellent show coming up, guys. Please stay with us. You know, if we do lose you for any reason,
I think we'll be okay today. I think somehow I think we'll
it's funny, Mike. You know, I love it. Yeah. Okay. So what are we going to look at first, honey?
Well, let's just look at this Robbert van den Broeke. This is more photographs that he actually took under some scientific conditions, and then I have got a couple of pages that I've got to read out. They're a very loose translation. I think they must have been translated in Google Translate. So if it sounds a little bit gobbledygook, you'll get the message anyway.
Oh, I love it.
But let's look at what Robbert has been up to. And it's in Dutch, but there's English information there for us. Here we go.
Bewijzen dat het echt is, dat er geen trucs worden gebruikt. Wat mensen vaak denken, Robbert heeft er niet zoveel verstand van, maar ik weet wat sceptici denken dat Robbert vaak gebruikt. Dus we gaan eerst even filmen dat er nog geen foto's gemaakt zijn. Wacht even, Robbert. Ja. Oké, de chip is leeg, er staan nog geen foto's op. Mensen denken vaak dat je misschien stiekem van tevoren al foto's op hebt staan. Oké, zou je even de lens bij het licht willen houden, Robbert? Zodat we allemaal kunnen laten zien dat er niks voor de lens zit. Geen diaatje of transparant plaatje, wat mensen soms denken. Oké, perfect. Goed, ik blijf nu filmen, Robbert. Zou je nu foto's kunnen maken waar misschien iets op verschijnt? Terwijl ik blijf filmen. Je houdt er niks voor. Er zit niks op de lens.
Nee, we zullen zien. Het is geen garantie, maar misschien gebeurt het. Misschien gebeurt het niet. Ik kan het proberen.
Oké. Ga je nu al kijken? Moet je niet meer foto's maken?
Kijken of er iets op staat.
Oké, nog niks.
Wow!
Oh, wat is dat? Wacht even, sorry. Ik zal het even goed in beeld
brengen. Even de camera stilhouden.
Ja, sorry.
Anders is het voor de mensen te bewegelijk.
Ja, nee, dat is die man. Oh, wauw, een andere.
Wie is dat?
Ga eens terug. Ja, dat is
ongelooflijk. Dat is wat er op de film. Wacht even, dit is Pet Delgado. Ja. Dit is Pet Delgado, absoluut Delgado.
Wauw.
Oh, wat mooi.
En direct ook, hè?
Oh, God, thank you.
Echt
Bert Delgado, bijzonder.
Echt te gek. Ja, het is echt ongelooflijk. Ah, geloof je toch niet? Is het al een vierde of...
Dit is Duck. Dit is Duck. Dit is
de vierde die in beeld komt? Of hoe foto's
weet ik
gemaakt?
niet.
Je had er toen 3 gemaakt.
3 heb ik er gemaakt.
Oké.
Dit is Duck.
Ja.
Of nee, dit is Dave, bedoel ik. Dave.
Ja.
Dave is overleden.
Ongelooflijk. Zo
Die is
duidelijk.
overleden. Hij is het.
Echt
Ik
zo
herken hem
duidelijk in
meteen.
beeld.
Ik herken hem van televisie.
Wauw.
Ik herken zijn gezicht meteen.
Ja, en
Dus
dit
leeg.
is... Oh, dit was de eerste foto, of
Ja.
de laatste? Oké.
Oh, hier ook.
Wauw.
Prachtig.
Maak even de vinger erbij.
Ja.
Welke is nou de eerste die gemaakt is, of weet je dat niet?
Dat weet ik niet. Deze misschien?
Oké, misschien... Hoe kan je dat zien? Nee, ik heb niet. Er zijn dus in totaal 3 foto's. Wauw. Ja, dat is ook zo duidelijk.
Prachtig.
Dat het nu ook...
Scroll maar verder.
Meteen is
Het zijn
gelukt bij het
3,
experiment, want je kan op
één.
deze manier geen truc hebben gebruikt. Want ik had de lens continu in het vizier eigenlijk. En er stonden nog geen foto's op.
Kijk, 1, 2, 3.
Ja.
1.
Nee, maar dat is zo duidelijk, Robert.
Heel mooi. Nou, fantastisch.
Maar ook dat het meteen mocht gebeuren.
Ja, ik vind het fantastisch.
We moeten even voor de camera zeggen, we hebben hier niet...
By the way, I've tried to go to that website, bltresearch.com. I've tried for 3 days and the bandwidth has just exploded and nobody can get on it. So that's Robbert van den Broeke. This was taken in 2012. He's done a lot more since. What do you think, Lynda, here with this? I mean, for me, he's the real deal without any exception whatsoever.
And I've got to agree with you, Mike. You know why? Because this was filmed back in 2012. Photoshop wasn't around. CGI effects, you know, they weren't that great back then.
Yeah.
How do you debunk this stuff?
Yeah.
You know, you can't.
No.
You can't.
No, I mean, he's done a lot more. I mean, if you sign up to his Facebook page, there are links to his regular YouTube, but it's all in Dutch. But he does write on his Facebook page in English what the YouTube thing is about, and it's really worth following. I just want to go through this and see what you think.
Go there.
So look, here is a picture of Dr. Emoto. Many people may know Dr. Emoto from his work with crystals and water. And I can tell you that is exactly him. That is
him. Because I've researched him too, yes.
It looks more like him than he does himself, in fact. Right. So I'll just read you with what he wrote about this. And as I say, if it makes a little bit of crazy language, it's because it's a direct translation. So here it is. February the 7th, my smartphone spontaneously started spinning on my table. This has happened more often in the past. Then suddenly an image of a deceased on the screen appeared. This happened now too. I felt very clearly that night Dr. Emoto around me. I looked on the screen of my smartphone and I saw beautiful green-blue energy and the face of Dr. Emoto in the middle of there. I looked at the stored photos. I saw that the photo was also stored in the photo storage. Very special that spiritual world can project photos of deceased people on smartphone. Now it gets interesting. Emoto has done a lot of research on water crystals, on how words and images, for example, can have energy impact on water and how it can deliver very different crystals in a frozen state. Right now, there is a pack of snow in Netherlands. Dr. Emoto also gave me this message about snow, and this is really why we didn't think of this next bit. The message is when snow is lying or snowing, the other dimensions and mind appearances can take place more intensely because of the crystal atmosphere of the snow. Today, February 9th, crystal mark appeared on my forehead as a kind of iced crystal mark via the spirit of Emoto on my forehead, and on 7th of February appeared Dr. Emoto on the photo. I made a YouTube clip which I sent the message, blah, 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 blah. So there you are. You know, the water crystals are actually, from what I can see, the snow is actually allowing us with this communication a bit more. What do you think, Lynda?
Absolutely. And why didn't we think of it earlier? You know,
Yeah.
I have heaps of crystals in my house. I don't get snow here in Brisbane. You know, I always say the day it snows in Brisbane, the day I know that it is weather modification, because we've never had snow in Brisbane.
Right.
But I have lived in snow. You know, in Maryland, where we had 4-foot snow drifts that lasted. You know, you couldn't go to the toilet for 6 weeks because the pipes were iced over. Wow.
Yeah.
You've given me food for thought here, Mike.
Well,
you know, because I do know that snow, because I've seen snow, that it is crystallized water.
Right.
So, of course, it's energy, which is, how do I describe this? It doesn't open up portals or vortexes or stargates or any of that sort of stuff, but it amplifies the ability for that occurrence to be created.
Yeah.
If that makes sense for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like a conductor. It's a conductor. So it's what do they call it? Something that makes something else happen. A conduit type thing.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm not very scientific, even though I try to be. Yeah, but geez, you've given me food for thought there.
Well,
I'm just writing this down. Crystallized water, snowflakes.
Wow. Here's another one, okay, that he done, and this is a great lesson for all skeptics. James Randi, he says, is a skeptical person, formerly a magician, who used his fame to pay out $1 million to whoever could prove in his test under controlled circumstances to have a psychic gift. The price was never paid. This was proof to James that no one would have a paranormal gift. And so this is James Randi coming through on his phone. Clear as the day's long. So I read.
Oh, you got to laugh at it. You know, you got to laugh.
I'll read what he says. This is a bit long and a bit gobbledygook, but here we go. It's really important.
Yeah.
Yesterday night on my desk, my phone suddenly started spinning itself, and when I grabbed it, suddenly there was an energetic image on it. On the image, you can see James Randi's face very clearly with energy fields around it, and then the image suddenly disappeared. I went to look at the stored photos on my smartphone where they are stored. The energetic image of James stored unexplained. This evening, so my smartphone suddenly started to turn from itself on my desk. Again, when I looked at a new energetic image of James Randi suddenly appeared. Then I went back to the stored photos and I saw last night's photo was gone and that a new energetic appearance of James Randi appeared on my smartphone. So he says, this is the important thing. James is angry is that he is now in the light and he has learned that to prove the higher one must first be open and the attitude and intention is of most importance. If you want unwarily in advance and intentionally to prove that it doesn't exist, the person makes their own reality. Paranormal phenomena are immediately blocked. This is also why people who didn't believe in the spirits will never experience one. But this principle, money, that he was talking about, also for his own $1 million test. Even if someone has a gift already, the gift will block. In the afterlife, he now sees that if scientists want evidence, they also have to be open and believe, or at the least have an open attitude to give access to the paranormal phenomena. You attract what you believe, thoughts are powers. Now, here's the thing, something else I didn't really consider. He says there are cosmic legislators who decide whether the paranormal should be present. It will never occur in a setting in which someone receives 1 million because the higher does not commit to the money lust. The cosmic binds itself to an expansion of consciousness in a loving setting. There will certainly be scientists who will provide evidence for the paranormal, provided that they are therefore open to paranormal, and the higher sees that they will expand awareness and with good intentions. And the good news about James Randi on the other side is James saw everything as law of nature, which, like gravity, can always be repeated, but now sees that there are cosmic legislators, and the higher does not throw themselves out of pocket. It is a mystery that lets itself discover the adventure of life, and it is consciousness in itself that determines whether we can experience something of a miracle. James always wanted to feel in control of situations, and things he couldn't explain horrified him, and that makes him a fighter of the paranormal in the earthly life. I see he is now relieved of his fear, and that he can come home now, feel safe. So,
So, you know, how many really rich psychics are there out there, Mike?
Rich psychics?
Yeah.
Well,
you've got John Edward. Hello.
Yeah.
He's like the big one that everyone talks about, John Edward.
Yeah.
But you've got to look at what he's done with his gift. You know, he's doing live shows. Now, I've done the maths on his live show. You know, you go into like Ticket Tech or whatever billing cycle that you can buy to get tickets to his shows.
Yep.
You know, he had a show here. Well, it was due last November, but obviously that got canned. His tickets were like $150.
Yeah.
And there was like 1,000 people there. Right. Now, I know the stadium where he was staying, it was about 10 grand to hire that.
Yeah.
But then, you know, you've got your hire of your staff, you've got your promotional and your advertising expenses, blah, 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 blah. He still would have made himself a hell of a lot of money, you know, doing his 3 shows or whatever he was supposed to do here in Brisbane.
Matt Fraser.
You know, so, sorry?
Jeff says Matt Fraser also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. They're out there.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason why I don't do live shows, because I'm not a circus monkey. You know, I'll do my readings for people, but, you know, I connect with that person individually, and if nothing comes through, I just say to them, you know, oh, well, I've never had a day where nothing has come through.
Yeah. Not
being egotistical, but I don't want to go and stand on a stage and be a circus monkey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you have to perform to the masses over and over and over again. You know, I prefer to just be who I am.
Yeah.
Which is what you are as well. So I know that you'll agree with this, Mike. You know, that's probably why we're so broke. You know, because we're not out there doing it for the money. You know what I mean? Because I always say, you know, the more money we've got, the nastier we become. You know, unless you do something righteous and good with that money, you know, that's why I'm...
Let me try nasty. Let me try nasty for a while, Linda.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I should too. You know, I just don't have it in me, Mike.
Yeah.
You know, I can't do nasty because I've looked in my life, you know, I've looked at my life and the times in my life when I was nasty to others, I was getting sick. Bad things were happening to friends and family. Your car breaks down. You know, there's always karma that brings in that energy that we're creating. You know, so if we're nasty, nasty things will happen to us. You know, and that's why whenever I like get into money, because it has happened a few times in my life, I'm really generous to all my friends. You know, I look after people and you know, spread it around so it creates that energy, that frequency, that vibration around everybody. So, you know, getting back to this poor man, James Randi, you know, he was so smug. You know, that's the word I like for him. He was putting out this damn competition and he was always sitting there, ha, 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 no one can do these scientific experiments. But now that he's actually passed over and he knows that it's real, of course he's going to come back and say, oops, I stuffed up.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm glad that he actually has come through.
Yeah,
just bear with me, I'm just going to blow my nose.
And Jeff says he's quite right, what goes around comes around. And Joanne asks,
absolutely,
what about the young guy, Hollywood medium? I think he is raking in a bit of a packet. actually. You know, I don't mind people earning money from it if it's the genuine thing, if it's the real deal.
Well,
because
can I go there?
Yeah.
Can I just go there with that psychic Tyler, the Hollywood Tyler guy?
Yeah.
I was watching a show on YouTube just the other day about him, and this guy says, why does he only ever go to celebrities, and why does he only ever talk about things that could have been verified on Google?
I didn't see that.
He showed in this episode that this guy went, it was like an hour episode. He said, look, when he's talking to, say, I don't know, I'll just make a name up, Will Smith, right? Mm-hmm. He's talking to Will Smith, and Tyler's sitting there and says, oh my God, you've got a son and a daughter. Hello, everybody knows Will Smith's got a son and a daughter, you know, because it's advertised on Google or Wikipedia or wherever you go to. You know, so even when he starts talking about the grandparents, that can all be verified through Google.
Yeah.
Because these celebrities, you know, you go to any celebrity on Google and it always says who the parents were, their siblings.
Yeah, Wikipedia
you know,
does, yeah.
who they're married to. Yeah, so you can find out all this stuff, you know, and for him to say, oh, I don't know these clients before I turn up, that's a load of crud. I'm sorry, we've got a young guy. His whole life would be watching TV, watching movies, and listening to music.
I know his mother.
He'd know these celebrities, and his mum pushes it. So guess who? Guess who? I think. Oh yeah, thank you for that. I love it when they talk to me live on air. I just heard yes, very clear.
Yeah.
That was my girl. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was nearly, because I'll just explain what just happened, guys, so you know. As soon as I have an intention to talk, okay, they already know the answer because they know that intention. But for me talking to here now, for me to say I think it's the mother doing this research, that just took 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But as soon as I have that thought of the question, they answer it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you saw that, because as soon as I said, I don't know how far in the sentence I got, I think it's the mother, I got that answer straight away.
Right.
And it was like a yes coming down on my left shoulder here, because that's how she talks to me. You know, she's about my height, but because I'm sitting down, she's standing up here next to me, obviously, because I know where the voice came from. So, you know, that's my confirmation right now that it's the mother doing all this research. She's the one going out getting these high society celebrities for him to go to. He's probably just going there. You know, she'd say, oh, mention this, mention that. You know, here's your cheat sheets.
Yeah.
You know, so then he just goes to the house. Oh, wow, look where you live. Oh, what a nice house. Oh, your name's Kim Kardashian. He probably doesn't know anything about her. You know, if he does, he does, and if he doesn't, he doesn't. But he's got his cheat sheet from his, oh, my God, I just got it again, another big yes. Yes, it's the mother.
Yeah.
Wow, we're doing a psychic reading live on air tonight, Mike. Thank you so much, darling.
Well,
I love it. Oh, that was so clear, that one. The yes.
You know, before we go to this next clip, I just want to say for the record that I do evenings of clairvoyance, and they're done in truth and light. We, for example, the last one I've done was at Christmas, since all of this lockdown crap, and we start off with singing. We have a little inspirational story, and then we do the readings.
Yeah.
And I would say I would do theatre under my own terms, which would be it's done exactly that way: truth and light, singing, harmony, inspirational stuff.
Oh,
you know.
Can I just add?
Yeah.
Can I just add there? Can you imagine walking into like a hall and you've got Marky Mark singing, you know, that good vibration song?
Oh yeah.
Bring on those good vibrations. You know, that's what I've always wanted. So then people come in, you're all sitting down, and then I analyse the words. What does it mean, good vibrations? You know, Roy Orbison, anything you want, you've got it.
Yeah.
My God, how powerful are those words?
Yeah.
You know, so I do have a little collection of songs where those words, you know, you just pick those words. What does it mean? Anything you want, you've got it.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd love to
absolutely.
be able to do that.
Yeah,
That's the sort of show I would do.
Right.
Not so much psychic medium or mediumship. Hello, I can do my free well, I do a lot of free readings anyway.
Yeah.
But do my paid readings on the side, etc. But I just want to bring that vibration up, because that's what you're doing when you're doing your song and dance before.
Yeah.
And it's true,
Yeah.
because when we raise up that vibration, that's when we get all our psychic abilities coming in.
Yeah.
Because you can't be angry, you're not sad, you're not grieving somebody, you're not having the grudges, you haven't got those regrets. You're getting there in that moment of that being present, raising up your vibration, and of course that's when everything comes in.
Absolutely.
So I'm just proud. Thank you so much. I don't see her a lot, but my God, but you saw me off air, Mike, before we started. I was here with my daughter and the cat, so of course that was just raising my vibration to where now I'm hearing her very clear. Oh my God, I love it when she talks to me. Yay.
Okay.
All righty, we better get on to the next video, darling.
This is the story of a policewoman in Hawaii, I think it is. This is a reenactment.
Yes, it is. Yes.
But again, an interesting episode here. And it does make you wonder how many of these situations are happening. And just common sense would tell you it can't all be fake or stories. So let's just listen and see what goes on.
Let's get to it.
Okay, here we go.
One of the things that we have to do in District 5 is make checks of the Pali Lookout and Pali Highway. Also at nighttime, we have to go up there and lock both gates. So at that time, my beat partner was a blue and white driver. She was still a rookie. She said she was assigned to close the Pali gates that night. And most officers, they don't like to go and they don't like to, close the gates because it's so dark up there at Pali Lookout. She said she pulled up to the first gate and she locked that one and she got back in her car and she drove going into the Pali Lookout. But as she drove in, she saw something white. She remembered stories where officers would get into accidents because, they drive past this white figure. So she drove closer, and as she got closer, and it appeared to be a lady wearing a white dress. And she was like, oh, I better stop and ask to see if she's okay. So when she pulled up, and she started rolling down her window, but as she turned out and looked out the window to start asking the lady why she was there, she felt this eerie feeling in the blue and white. And that's when she looked in the rearview mirror and she realized the lady was sitting in the backseat of the Corvette. I remember her telling me that her grandmother always told her if you do encounter any kind of spirit or anything, you need to stay calm and you need to talk to the spirit. So as she's driving, the lady's in the back seat, she kept talking to the lady.
Oh, what are you doing out here, Auntie?
So to stay calm, she kept talking to the lady. And the whole time, the lady sat there, said nothing, and was looking down. When she got to the second gate, she got out, quickly closed that gate, and she knew that spirit was still in the back seat. So she got back in and she continued to talk to the person. Oh, I don't have anything to offer you right now. I'm just doing my job. I have to lock the gates. I have to drive around. And I do have to go through the tunnels, but, I cannot take you all the way to Kaneohe, to Kailua, because that's out of my district. But, I want you to be safe. And she kind of told that to the spirit. And the whole time, the lady sat there, said nothing, and was looking down. So as she was driving down, she went through the tunnels, and she just felt this overwhelming peace. She just felt at peace. And then she looked up into the rearview mirror, and she noticed that the lady was gone.
So I was wondering, do you think that the tunnel was there to bring this lady to the tunnel, symbolic of stepping into the light, or did the lady not like the tunnel and jumped out? What do you think?
The latter.
Right.
Yeah. You look at the movies, Mike.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice, they couldn't leave the house.
No.
There's a movie from the 1950s. My dad and I actually watched it when I was like 12, and it was called Soul Survivor. And I'm pretty sure it had William Shatner in it. And it's about a plane it's a military movie, like a war movie.
Yeah.
And the plane crashes in the desert, and there's one sole survivor. So he goes back and is trying to work out what happened to the plane. But unknown to him, the other 5 that perished, their spirits are still at the plane. They don't know that they've died, but they can't leave. Every time they walk out, like on Beetlejuice, they leave and they do like a big circle and come back. So then I've got the ghost like Shelley, who came here from Fraser Island. How the hell did she get to my house from Fraser Island if she's in that loop? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I think, though, is that they stay where they're connected. She obviously was from Brisbane or somewhere, you know, Shelley I'm talking about now, why she came to my house for 3 days. But ghosts generally stay where they're connected to. So that's like if you've got like your grandmother's ring, you know, I've got my ring, let's just say this, and I give it to Tashi, my daughter. After I die, I can find Tashi because of the ring.
Yeah.
Oh, I could find her anyway because she's my child, you know. But that's why you get possessions of items, you know, like you could have the old paranormal computer mouse, a haunted computer mouse, you know, because it's where the energy attaches to.
Yeah.
So in this one, I think. Because, it is only an assumption because I haven't gone there and spoken to her.
Right.
But I think the tunnel, when she gets to that tunnel, that's like her boundary of that area of where she's confined to, you know. And unfortunately, she wants to leave because that's why she got in the car, you know. So you're trying to bunk out what her story is. She's trying to leave. That's why she got in the car. But she can't. So how many times has she gotten into a car?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking here that is an infinite answer. How many times does she get into someone's car, tries to leave, and she can't? She disappears again and goes back to the first spot.
The Truman
then she gets
Show.
In someone else's car.
The Truman.
That's right. The old Truman Show where you just can't leave.
Yeah.
You know, and so for her, she probably doesn't know she's dead. That's my philosophy here. She doesn't know that she's died, so she's just trying to get a lift home.
Right.
Like Shelley.
Yeah.
She wanted to go to the hospital and see how her friend was, that ghost that stayed in my house for 3 days.
Yeah.
So I don't think she's dead. And that's why she can't leave the area because she's connected there. You know, hopefully at some point somebody says to her or she remembers her death, even though it may be very traumatic, you know, especially if she was murdered, raped, chopped up and stuff like that happened to her.
Yeah.
You know, that would be very traumatic, you know. Yeah,
I think she probably needs a bit of help, that's all.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, so instead of a police officer going and talking to her, she needs someone like you and I, you know, who can actually sit down and say, hey, what do you remember? You know, what year is it now? So she can come to that conclusion now of what's happened to her. So then her transition is so peaceful. Yeah. You know what I mean? She has that peaceful transition over.
Yeah. Well, I tell you.
Yeah, poor girl. Do I believe the story? I believe the story 100%.
Jeff says there's a woman in white named Sally who wanders around Sally's beach. She was murdered there and hates men. He's not going there, he says. It's true.
Yeah.
A beach on Central
Coast. I've heard a story. I know it is a boat. It is a coastal road down in New South Wales where she was hitchhiking and 5 guys, I think it was, back in the 70s or 60s, they picked her up and they gang raped her and then they murdered her. So they had her body in the back seat and they threw her out over a cliff or something. Each one of those 5 people came to really bad ends where she turned up and sort of helped them die. You know, really weird things happened to the 5 guys involved. Whether that's the same sort of story or not, but you know, can ghosts hold revenge? Absolutely. Well, you know, if you've got revenge in you, you can be a very revengeful ghost. You know, if you're loving, peaceful kind, then you will be a loving, peaceful ghost. Yeah.
I mean, I was
So you're
looking at exactly this type of thing to put on the show this week, where people who have been killed have come back to help convict their killers.
yes.
I just didn't find sufficient footage just yet, so
Yeah, I
I might have another look this week.
Unless you like what happened to me in my old employment, that ghost walking. I can't say where I used to work, guys, and I certainly don't want to get anybody in breach of a certain confidentiality agreement. But this guy walked across the room. His dead body's on the ground, and he looked me right in the eye and said, "Tell him it was my cousin Damien." So my ex-employer investigated it, and it was the cousin Damien.
Right.
So, yeah, another formal reprimand for Lynda. How did I know that? Oh, God. It's funny, Mike. But that's the sort of thing that it does happen where they do want whoever killed him to be known. Yeah. Yes, because it happened to me. Yeah. That happened in 2008. Yeah. Nice story, that one. Yeah.
I'm just looking at the comments there, because Joanne said it would make a good movie, and Jeff said that they made the movie and bad things happened to the cast and crew, no doubt. Same in The Exorcist.
Yeah, of course. We were saying that the other night about Poltergeist, or what was it, The Exorcist movie?
Yeah.
You don't want to be involved with that energy at all. Yeah. I'm sorry. No. There are energies, places that I will just not go to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually looking back. Zach Bagans has got that haunted museum thing happening now, so I was actually looking at that the other day with his ticket prices and what you see in there. Mm-hmm. There are some items he's got, I don't even want to go near them.
No.
The staircase from that house that he ended up burning down because it had one of those D's inside it, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that flight of stairs.
Yeah.
Sorry. But if people want to go there and have that thrill, damn, I hope they know how to protect themselves real damn good.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And this is why, if ever you buy a bit of second-hand furniture, please, cleanse it. We did table tipping again last night, and not only did I cleanse the table, no one should use it because it's put away, but just in case, I cleanse it, and I do myself as well. You can't mess about with this stuff. But remember,
you really can't.
If you're working in truth and light, and you know what you're doing, you're not dabbling, you're not doing it for a laugh, you'll be safe with all this. So
absolutely.
Anyway, Claudia, welcome, and thank you for your wonderful comment.
Hello. Hello, Claudia.
So,
yay.
Let's look at some more Gettysburg stuff, and then you've got some information. So I'll show Gettysburg 1 first, and then
yes, please
see what we come up with. Here it is.
Okay.
Okay, so before we do the second one, do you want me to put up your points that you made? Okay.
Yep, let's go there, guys.
Here's the first
no
one.
one's saying if they think it's real or fake.
Well, Jeff says it's a night vision camera.
Okay.
And he doesn't sit
It's
in the haunted chair either.
Yeah. Alrighty, you ready, guys?
Yeah.
It's fake. It's actually a mark on the windscreen. So I've sent Jeff, sorry, Mike, because I'm reading all Jeff's. Look how many comments Jeff's made. Keyboard
Good
warrior tonight, Jeff. So, okay, so on the bottom, there's a little black dot. You can see the black dot on the road before the top bit rises, okay? So there is a dot there on the ground. So, Mike, if you want to play the footage again, guys, don't look at the cannons. Look down at the bottom of the screen and you'll see the black dot. And then this, like, apparition, the blurred part, it's actually part of that black dot on the windscreen of the car. Yeah.
Okay, let's play it.
So, Mike, if you want to play it again.
Yep, here it comes.
Paranormal, you look at what's around it to see if there's something else in the video that could be causing it. So that one has been debunked as
here's the second
obviously
picture.
he's got his windscreen wipers going, so it could be on the inside of the windscreen or the outside of the windscreen, but it's been debunked. That one is fake. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okie doke. Well, yeah. Well, Jeff says they move pretty quick for ghosts. Yeah. The interesting thing about this is that they do look like upright figures.
Absolutely. And that's where, amateur paranormal investigators, and I'll say that, amateur paranormal investigators would look at that and go, oh my God, look at the vision around the cannons.
Yeah.
But when you see that black dot and that black dot moves with the actual image, that's how you learn to debunk stuff. And, as Rick Burden says, who does Ghost Hunters of Australia, he actually showed me that one a few years ago, because that is an old footage, unfortunately, but it's good to talk about it on this show. But he actually, when he was training me how to analyze footage, so ghost hunters actually do use that one as a testing ground to see if amateurs are going up in their level of professionalism and how to debunk stuff. Okay. Yeah, because the first thing I saw was the black dot, and I said to Rick, "What's that black dot down there? How can it be there and plus up there?" And he said, "Yep, that's what you're looking for."
Yeah.
So this is how we debunk stuff, guys.
Okay.
But I'm not saying that there could have been something else in there that we just didn't pick up on the video or whatever, but that one has been debunked.
Okay.
Yep.
Right, well,
sorry, guys.
Let's look at the second Gettysburg.
Absolutely. So let's play real or fake for this one.
Okay.
Come on, guys.
Okay.
All right, we're here in Gettysburg, just before the 150th. Where should I stop?
Just pull off here.
Want to try to film something here?
Yeah.
They said there's activity here before, but all right. So we're gonna sit here for a while and just kind of film with the camera.
A lot of troops left from here.
See what happens. I was told by a ranger. It was about in this area here, Jay, that the ranger said that there's been some activities. They heard some rumors about seeing some sightings of something that they can't explain?
There's a lot of troops that left over here, so the activity should be strong.
All right, we'll record for like maybe half an hour or so, and then we'll move our Devil's Den maybe after that.
Yeah, that'll be a good spot next.
And then over by Pickett's Charge.
Yeah, maybe we can pick up something from there.
Pickett's hard though, because I can't really, unless we have flashlights. I guess I can shine it from the parking. All right, that's all right. We'll videotape here for a while.
Okay.
And let's be quiet though, okay? Holy crap! Down by the canyon, you see that?
Oh, what is that?
Wait, shh. Oh my God. Is it?
No way. What is that?
I have no friggin' idea.
Did you get that on the camera?
It's recording.
Oh my gosh, did you see that?
Did you, honestly? Is it? Wait, shh. Oh my God. Is it?
No way. What is that?
I have no friggin' idea.
Did you get that on the camera?
It's recording.
Oh my gosh, did you see that?
Holy crap. Down by the canyon, you see that?
Oh, what is that?
Wait, shh. Oh my God. Is it?
No way. What is that?
I have no friggin' idea.
Did you get that on the camera?
It's recording.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Is it?
No way. What is that?
I have no friggin' idea.
Did you get that on the camera?
As we say.
Yeah.
I can't zoom in, Jeff. I don't know how to just yet, but it's a good point.
Yeah, but you can always rewatch this later, guys. You know, where are we? We're about a minute and 3 odd minutes, you know, so rewind the tape tomorrow and watch it again when it's nice and dark.
Yeah.
Because you'll see it nice and clear in the dark. Because good thing yesterday with the pouring rain, I was watching it and I thought, wow, good day to debunk photos because this room was so dark yesterday because of all the rain we were having. So do you think it's real or do you think it's fake?
Yeah. The general consensus, everyone seems to feel, Jeff feels it looks like a Confederate. Take a snapshot and zoom. That's what I'll do, and I will put that up on the page a little later today for everyone to see.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And if I remember, I'll put the time in as well, so you can go back and see yourself.
Absolutely. Because my opinion, drum roll please, it's real.
Right.
That's real footage. Yeah, that is real footage.
Okay.
Yeah, there's too many things that are just good about it. You know, the clothing, the way it comes through, the transparency of it so you can see the wheels through it. There's so many stuff in there that I just really like about that footage.
Yeah.
You know, pity they weren't parked just a little bit closer to it. You know, you want him right next to the car. Wouldn't that be cool? So you can see facial expressions that, oh my God, who are you? You know?
And also,
what's this thing?
the size of the Spirit is proportionate to the size of the cannons. They were big cannons.
Yes.
So,
and that's what I always say too, Mike. You know, you get these people where, you know, you look at where I am. You can see the flower pot behind me, you know, and they've got these huge heads on their walls. they don't generally come through like that. They are in proportion.
Yeah.
You know, people that they send me photos, like I'm sitting here and the head's only this big.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's got a little arm, and you think, well, unless that's a two-week-old baby.
Yeah.
You know, humans don't come through. We still come through in the size that we are.
Yeah.
You know, don't know about you, but when I get people's deceased relatives coming through in readings and they appear in front of me, they're exactly the same as a living person.
Yeah.
You know, Shelley walked into my house with that guy. She was here for 3 days. When she turned up, I didn't even know she was dead because she was size proportionate. She wasn't see-through.
No.
You know, she was like me sitting here now. You know, and she was flicking her hair. You know, oh, God, flick the hair, Linda. But, you know, when she flicked her hair was doing the flicks.
Yeah.
You know, and the clothes. And when she sat on the chair indented as well. And I actually was thinking, is this girl really alive?
Yeah.
You know, because they are in size proportion. So that's a good thing in that too, is that he was the same size. There's so many things in there I like, as I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, Jeff, I'll post a link of the footage. I'll have it in my YouTube history somewhere. So I'll post that, and then you can mess about with the raw material yourselves.
Yeah.
So moving on, because time is running out again. Now I did a reading this week, and I'd been working on EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, and so I say this with permission of the lady. And we did this reading, and it was primarily to see if we could connect with her dog Cookie. So I'm going to put up Cookie. There's Cookie. God bless him. Cookie is now in the world of spirit, quite safe. And when I first heard the dog growling, because what I want people to know is that when he used to communicate, rather than bark, he would growl. So, but it wasn't that's just the way he did it. So at first I'm thinking to myself, okay, is this just a phenomena with all the electronics that are going through? And then when I play back and try and realize this, I'm thinking, no, because he growls when we're talking about him, and also when she is talking about him. So when he's trying to come through in spirit, he growls, and when she's talking about him, he does this growl. Some of them are a little bit, you might need headphones, but the last ones at the end are very clear. And what I want to say is, after looking at this and discussing it with Melody, is her name, she's given me permission to use that, she confirms that this is his growl. So also, there was something else I wanted to say here. Yes, I think I would be man enough to say, no, this is just a phenomena, this isn't the dog. But I heard this with my physical ear, as you can. She couldn't hear anything the other end. So what you're going to hear is just sound bites. It's about 30 seconds. They're just sound bites of little bits of conversation. So here we go. I'm going to play this for you, and this is exactly what I heard. You know, that bond has been there for a long, long time. So very, very happy. But she was nice, she was gentle, but you know, before she said anything, she wanted to know if she could trust you. Because
great.
Okay, if you can, you will have a better connection with Cookie. So there you are. That was it. Jeff said, did you EVP this? Jeff, I just had these headphones on like I've got now, and when I started to hear Cookie come through, I just pressed record. So I didn't use any information, but any technology in particular. But what I would say is, when I had time, I would dedicate just 5 minutes a day put on the record and start asking if anyone in spirit wants to come through. This was the first time in a long time that I've heard spirit on a one-to-one basis. So yeah, it can. Joanne says, "Wow, freaky," and Jeff says, "Well, yeah, it was freaky because you're trying to give a reading and you're hearing this voice here."
That's right.
But I just want to read something that Melody said I can write about this reading, because if anyone has lost anybody that's dear to them and doubts the existence of life on the other side, this is part of what she wrote, and she gives me permission to write this. She says, "I just wanted to take a moment and write to let you know how amazing the audio was that you shared with me. The audio changed my life. It was so very comforting and healing. It was to hear my sweet Cookie come through on the recording. That is just jaw-dropping. She came through. She actually reached out from heaven to touch me. As you might imagine, I've repeatedly listened to that audio and just can't get enough of not only hearing her voice, but the fact that there is an afterlife, a heaven, and she is there waiting me when my journey is through." Yeah.
Wow.
So that was all worthwhile. God bless Cookie. Yeah.
Bless Cookie.
It was
Good on you, Cookie.
beautiful. And you know what, Jeff, Linda? It was just wonderful for me that I managed to get, by whatever means, the right frequency to connect with Cookie.
Yeah.
And so Joanne says here, when my ex-partner's cat passed away, a few days later, we both heard faint meowing in the bedroom. Absolutely. Yeah. And if you do listen, you will hear.
That's right. Yes. When
dog's waiting for him. Yeah, good for you. If everyone had the heart of a dog.
I've got about 10 cats.
Yeah.
But, when I started about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, like talking to people like yourself, Mike, the first lady that contacted me was the lady from Spirit Sisters. She's a member of my group, so hello, Karina. So she did a Skype with me just like now, and she was just asking me about what happened to me when I died, and you can hear this dog barking, and it's like it's standing right next to me. There's dog barking. I don't own a dog. Mary would freak out if there was a dog here. There's no dogs in my neighbourhood. That's why you never hear dogs barking around me. But in this Skype thing that we did, you can hear this dog barking. Now, I do have a dog ghost here in my house. People have seen it. But for me to get that confirmation of the dog barking, where you can physically hear it, as well as, oh, yeah, I just saw something, because it's always out of the corner of your eye because he's running away and you just see the tail running. But to actually hear its bark, my God, it's so reassuring is the word.
Yeah.
It's so comforting, knowing that they are around. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do believe if, even if you're not a medium or you don't believe you have these skills, if you open yourself up to the possibility, that's all. To open yourself only to the possibility, then everything is possible, and you can do this too. The problem is, as we saw with Robbert Ver when he spoke about James Randi, when you are actually looking to disprove something, or in this case, when you're actually saying to yourself, I don't have the gift, therefore it can't happen, then it won't happen.
It won't happen.
So
the more we tell ourselves that we do have something, the more we will have it. Yeah. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I thoroughly believe in that one. But
Jeff, I don't know what dog it is, to be honest, but he's a beautiful little soul. And God bless this little one that gives so much joy and pleasure to someone.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So there he is, dear old Cookie. Very safe now, but I don't know what he is, to be honest. Happy.
Well,
I would say he's happy.
Well, I was actually just going to say, I know what he is, Mike. He's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. you know, because they're at peace again now, you know, whatever, if he had injuries, if he had sickness or whatever, as that's why he's passed, you know, all that pain, you know, imagine waking up and you don't have muscle pain, you know?
Yeah.
I can't tell you how great that feels not to wake up with muscle pain.
Yeah.
You know, right now I can feel my arm, I can feel my leg, I can feel my toes, you know, muscles. Imagine not having to do this. How often do we do this?
Yeah.
Forever while we're alive, in and out of that inhale, exhale, you know, because that was one of the biggest things that I had to learn again when I woke up. You know, I even said it to the nurse, what do you mean I've got to keep doing this? She said, oh, yeah, you've got to breathe in, because it was, if we pause and don't breathe, that's how it is over there, because we don't need to sustain our lungs with oxygen, you know? So it was so weird that this nurse had to tell me, you've got to do this in and out breathing for the rest of your life. Thanks a lot for that. Are you sure you wanted to wake up, Linda? Oh my God,
Jeff, I don't know how old the dog is. He wasn't old as far as I know. I'm sure Melody, when she watches this, will answer these questions because she is out stateside, so she's probably still sleeping right now.
Yeah.
But yes, he also goes on to say here, Bobby, my dog, is listening to this video. Super.
Yeah. Woof, Bobby. I just said hi to Bobby. Woof.
Yeah, hi, Bobby.
I can talk dog. Hang on, I can talk dog, Mike.
Well, it's just a bit like Skippy. He speaks English. I remember Skippy the bush kangaroo.
That's right.
What's that, Skip?
Yes.
There's a group of kids falling down a hole, and you're going to show us where it is? Come on then, Skip.
That's right, Skip. Yeah, that's right, Skip.
Showing my age a little bit there. Listen, let's move on. Time is running out. Wow.
Yes.
Roy Goodwin, a normie, a regular guy, saved by an angel, another reenactment. No reason to disbelieve, a normie. Let's have a look, see what you all think. Here we go.
Yeah, definitely.
One frosty evening in December 1981, Roy Goodwin was driving with his wife and children.
We were travelling on a main road, quite a wide main road, through a forest. And suddenly there were 4 headlights side by side, immediately in front of us, one car overtaking the other. I instinctively pulled the car to the left onto the grass verge, but the car that was in front of me hit us head on. It was very serious indeed. I was quite clear that I was dying. Both the police and an ambulance came. Smoke started to come up from the front of the car, and they needed to get everybody out. They couldn't get me out because I was well and truly trapped in there.
Roy believes that whilst he was waiting to be freed from the damaged vehicle, something quite miraculous happened.
I was alone in the car. Suddenly through the darkness came a figure, and he walked very steadily and clearly straight between the trees, through the forest, which was impenetrable, certainly at that time with brambles. But he walked in a straight line, straight to the side of the car. And he climbed in. The seat was covered with broken glass, but he simply sat there. He was wearing a coat with a hood up, didn't see his face, but he put his arm straight across my shoulder. It felt as though I'd been plugged into the mains. This incredible force and power was just continuously flooding through me. After a while, the ambulance men came over and said that they were taking my family off to hospital. And at that point, this person who was sitting by me climbed out of the car and said with a very strong and clear voice, "Stop." And he said to the ambulance man, "You're to bring his wife over here to him." And they brought her over to me. And then he spoke to me. He said, "Man, you are to know that your wife and children and you as a family will be together again and whole, and you are to disregard anything else that anyone tells you."
What was the reaction of the doctors when you got to hospital and they saw your injuries?
I was wheeled straight into theatre, and they asked me to sign a form giving them permission to amputate my left foot and lower leg. And I couldn't give them that permission, because all I could hear was, you are to disregard anything that anyone else says. You and your family will be together and you'll be whole. And so I didn't have my foot amputated, and I have it today, and we're doing very well together. One of the things I was concerned was that because of the seriousness of my injuries, I dreamt it all, as it were. But some weeks after the accident, the police turned up unannounced, and they had two questions. Given the extent of the damage to the car, they wanted to know whether I had any explanation as to how it was that I was still alive. And then their second question was about the figure who was in the car with me, who had carried such authority that they had unhesitatingly obeyed it. It seems to me as though God sent an angel to help me. I knew I wasn't abandoned. I knew I wasn't on my own. I was clear that God was going to carry me through where I was, and I felt loved.
There we are. Wonderful.
Wow. Wow.
Anyone want to argue with that? You either believe it or you don't. That's the long and the short of it.
I didn't even give anyone the option to say yes, did they? Did I? Oops.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, over the series of these shows we've been doing, we've collected quite a few visitations and saved by angels. The couple in the car who went into the lake, Mickey Rooney being probably the most memorable ones.
I just want to add a little story here, Mike. Mm-hmm. On Saturday, it was the March Against the Millions, standing up for our rights, vaccinations, all the, everyone's angry about at the moment stuff. So Tashi and I got in the car and we drove up to the train station to catch a train in, because Tashi loves trains. I love trains. Hello. So we got to the train station and there were people sitting on the train station. When you go in, there's a gate, like a picket fence type thing that you walk in. You walk down a ramp under the platform and then you come up onto the platform where the tracks were. So we went down under the tunnel, we came back up, and I actually bought tickets at the machine. We turned around because this lady is yelling at me, don't do it, don't do it. So I've looked around and she was standing right at this picket gate thing where we'd walked in, and she wasn't there when we walked in. Who the hell was she? Because she's yelling, don't do it. So I said, oh, what's the matter, darling? Because I didn't know who she was. I wanted to be nice and friendly to her in case she wanted to come over and rob us or whatever. But she said, oh, you can't go to the town today. You can't go to town today. So she said, there's no trains. So we walked back down under the tunnel and we came up to where she was. And this woman was homeless. She had no teeth, really old clothes on. And she said, oh, you can't go into town today. They're working on the tracks. You can't get into the city. And I said, oh, well, do you know where there's a train? A bus. And she said, oh, yeah, the bus is leaving down the street. So she wasn't even at the bus stop. You can go down there, but there's 3 buses to get to the city. And then you've got 3 buses back to here to where you parked your car. So I looked at Tashi, my 14-year-old, did she want to go on 6 buses into the city that day? No. And I thought, that was so weird. She wasn't there when we went under the platform, but then she was there. There were some other people on the platform, but they were right down the other end of the platform. Yeah. And where the road is, there's nothing there. There's no houses or anything. It's all just like vacant lots and old shops and stuff that aren't open on the weekend. Why was she there? So I even got home and I rang my friend Sue and I said, Sue, I think I just had a visitor. And she said, why? And I said, well, we were going to town in this story with the woman. And I said, she was not there. She's appeared to let us know, don't go, because that was the message, don't go. And then I've said, what's the matter? And she said, oh, there's no trains, don't go. So, guys, anyone listening, angels do appear in any formation or object this could be an angel.
Yeah.
This pen could be an angel.
Yeah.
You know, it can appear as anything, as any person, young, old, whatever. You know,
or even like this as 4 legs, like Cookie.
Oh, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
You know, let's just go there in a little assumption, because I know we've still got another video to watch yet. A little assumption. You've got to get in your car and go to the shops. The angels know that you're going to stop at a red light and someone's going to run the red and hit you and you'll be dead. So they'll give you something to stop you going through that intersection at that time.
Yeah.
So how do you know that, you know, you open your door and there's a random dog standing there and you go, oh, puppy, whose dog are you? And, oh, yeah, you live over there, you know, someone you never met. Oh, so you take the dog home. And then you miss that accident, because this is why it's so hard to miss. You know, we cannot ever try and work out why things happen, because generally it's to stop something happening to us. Yeah. So you'll get in your car, you'll go to the shop and you think, well, nothing happened today. And the angels are just sitting there thinking, yep, we did a good job.
They're probably thinking, what a bunch of dumbasses, nothing happened today.
Yeah, they are.
If they only knew what we just done.
They don't even see what we just did. That's right. So whenever, you know, everything does happen for a reason. If you get a lot of red lights driving to work, think it as a sign from the angels. Absolutely. You're supposed to be slowed down.
Yeah.
Don't try and psychoanalyze it, because it may be preventing you, you know, some kid running out on the street, or a guy going through a red light, or whatever the situation. Just be grateful that you slowed down and you were kept safe, because that's why angels appear to us. You know, I've got a couple of notes here on this guy, the angel in this car.
Right.
Why did he bring the wife over to the man? Because that man needed that hope that he was going to survive. So that's why he's brought the wife back over from the ambulance.
Sure.
Because he needed to feel that connection to a living person to live for her.
Yeah.
And the angel said, you will be whole. So that's why don't let them take away your foot.
But it's interesting, the authority of which the ambulance people obeyed this figure.
And that's where we get into this mind blow, because it is a mind blow of how we just it's like going on auto mode. You know, I've done it myself. You know, one night I was sitting down watching TV and Tashi was there. We were watching a movie of some sort. I don't know, some Marvel movie, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, whatever. But I just got up, opened the door, and the next thing I know, I'm standing outside. And just as I sort of like come back to it, something happened in my front yard. So it's, you know, you just like, and then you like come back to it.
Yeah.
And then I think, because I'm in a little cul-de-sac, but things happen outside my door. You know, we get a lot of car accidents right outside my front door because people come around the corner and people coming up the street, they hit right here outside my house. So I think that was what happened that night.
Right.
But, you know, I was just sitting there watching the movie and I just went into like this little daze, opened the door, walked outside, and then bang, you know, where they just take over us sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't like giving them permission. I don't like channeling because it scares me too much.
Right.
Hello, I'm just a little wuss. I'm a little blonde girl some days. I don't like being channeled. Sorry, don't do it to me.
Well,
I'm not a big, strong, tough girl all the time, Mike. You know?
No.
As much as I try to be, God, there's some things out there that scare the hell out of me. You know?
Yeah, of course. Me also.
You should see what it's like when I'm here by myself, you know.
Yeah.
Tashi goes to her dad's for the weekends and I'm here and it's like, what's that noise? What's that? Where's the cat? Where's the cat? Is it the cat? No.
Yeah, you know.
Get out of my house.
Lynda, for example, I used to do a lot of rescue work, going to houses that had tormented spirits and stuff like that, worked in the rescue circles. I've stopped doing that for many years. I couldn't just walk into a building now and not feel or have apprehension. I'd have to steel myself. I'd have to really remember to keep in the light and the truth. But when I was doing it all the time, it was just another job.
Yeah,
right?
That's right, darling. Yeah, I know.
I
know.
It's like Jeff, who goes to the jails and all these other places. He's familiar with the patterns. He's familiar of what can happen, what to feel, what to expect, even to expect the unexpected. I no longer possess that kind of skill. I'd have to relearn all that again.
Yeah.
But my path
Yeah,
has
well,
gone
see,
on a
I've
different-
got it because I go to a lot of haunted places all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I've just been invited now out. We've got this haunted place. It's sort of like the Monte Cristo. You know, it's the Monte Cristo of Queensland. It's out at Ipswich.
Right.
It's an old homestead out the other side of Ipswich. So for me, it's about a 45-minute drive away.
Right.
And I just got invited to an overnight stay out there. Woo-hoo! I cannot wait. You know, I'm taking every camera, every bloody voice recorder I've got, my tuning rods. I'm taking everything in my backpack that night, you know. Oh my God, I'm so looking forward to going out there and doing that. You know, so there is 4 of us going out there, so we're going to get 2 rooms. So I don't know who I'm sleeping with that night, but who cares? You know, I won't be sleeping. You know, I'll be sitting there with my EVP and my camcorder. I won't be sleeping. It's going to be a fun night. Okay. You know, just to be invited, honoured to go out to a place like that. You know. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, so we've still got Colin Fry to look at.
Let's look at Colin Fry because we're running out of time.
Yes.
Colin Fry, if I've got him up here, sadly no longer with us, passed too early at the age of 53. One of the best mediums of the time. What you're going to see is a clip from a TV show called Sixth Sense, with a couple of other mediums. So if you want to see more of his work, go to YouTube, type in Sixth Sense, and you'll see Colin Fry. So here he comes up. Let's take a look at his work.
Oh, blimey, what a way to start me off. Okay. I've just got the words Hong Kong banking put in my mind. Have we got someone here that has got some connection to Hong Kong?
I lived there once.
You lived in Hong Kong? Sweetie, when you were out there, were you out there with a gentleman that has now passed to the spirit? Oh, then we are correct. Okay. Did he deal with the financial matters when you were out there? Yeah? And when you came back home, I'm not going to say that you were like broke, because I don't think you were, but money was a bit tight. In fact, it was very tight. Yeah, do you understand?
Yeah.
Well, he's got a confession to actually make to you.
I know he has.
All right. Show me a figure. There was about £25,000 in a Hong Kong bank and he couldn't get it out the country. It was like money that was like owed to him or due to him, and he never had the heart to tell you that he couldn't get the money back home. And he said, I've lived it all this time, and he said, and I can't have it on my conscience anymore, I've got to tell you.
He was very honest.
I'm afraid I lost 25,000 quid, and we could have really done with that when we first came back, you know, from Hong Kong. And he said, but I never had the heart to tell you, because he knew that you would be less than happy with
Kill him.
Well, maybe it's best to wait then until you have passed over before you pass these things on. All right. This guy just strikes me as being, you know, like a really lovable guy. He is a really nice guy. And he said, but I'm afraid me and money never seemed to go too well together.
True.
All right. Do you remember the gold watch?
He didn't sell it.
And he said, you know, I just got to tell you these things, you know, now. He said, because I really did need to get the money, you know. So I'm afraid I did go out and I pawned it.
Oh, don't.
All right. What I've got to actually say to you is, even though he's been a bit shy about this, and I can feel him in my mind, like, looking down thinking, oh no, how do I tell him that and everything, he's doing it with a smile on his face. It's almost like you could never be really angry with him. You know, for all the terrible cock-ups he made, you could just like never be cross with him. You know, he's just almost like he'd look at you like a lost little boy, you know, and you'd think, oh God, I can't be angry with him.
I just try the plant pot.
Yeah. And lock him out.
Yes.
Yes, he's just saying, and lock me out.
Yeah, well.
Twice.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And I don't know why this is meant to be so evidential, but he's laughing as he's telling me this. Now I've been a good boy, can I have a cigar?
He smoked in the chimney, didn't he?
Right. Okay. Like towards like the end of his life, you didn't like him smoking, did you?
No.
And you were always telling him off about it. Well, he's actually saying, I've been a good boy and I've confessed all this to you. Can I have a cigar now?
No.
You understand the joke of, you understand the joke of it, yes? All right. Okay. I'll leave his love with you.
Thank you.
I just knew as soon as you said Hong Kong it was going to be for you.
Yeah, and I knew when he said Hong Kong, but I didn't want to say anything because I didn't think I'd be able to handle it. You know, but the things he said were so accurate. It quite amazed me. We got married in 1960. We went to Singapore for 2 years, lived there, and then he got promoted and was moved to Hong Kong. And we lived there for another year.
Me and money never seemed to go too well together.
My husband was in the Royal Army Pay Corps. He was a super fella, but he was terrible with his money. We should have had a lot of money. We ended up with nothing. I do know he was a gambler, but he didn't used to tell me he was, but I used to find out. And I think a lot of his money was somehow
Gambled away.
Probably, yeah.
Do you remember the gold watch?
I had completely forgotten about it, but you kids have to talk about this gold watch.
Your beautiful gold watch
absolutely
that went missing out in Hong Kong.
Yeah, because we got married and went straight out there and I think he bought me that. Really expensive. And it went missing and I was always blaming myself and crying for it.
Towards like the end of his life, you didn't like him smoking, did you?
No.
And you were always telling him off about it.
Well, he died of cancer, lung cancer.
He was a very heavy smoker.
And he was a terrible heavy smoker. And I used to keep saying to him, one day you'll kill yourself smoking like that.
So there we are. Of course, that was just a short excerpt from a much longer reading. Yeah, shame. Taken too soon, quite right. Brilliant media.
Can I just say something?
Mm-hmm.
When spirits come through and they mention money, boy, do I put on my little, like Pepe the Pew.
Yeah.
Pepe Le Pew, right? But I want to just add here, I had this lady here who her husband had died. And he came through and he kept saying to me, tell her about the $60,000. So I'm like the Pepe Le Pew, I don't mention money, I don't want to mention money. Tell her about the $60,000. And so I looked at him, because he was here, and I said, what's the story with the money? And he said that that's how much they owed on the house. So I look at this woman and I said, because I don't like mentioning money, and I said, he's telling me about, and I actually got a pen and paper, because I always have pen and paper, and I wrote down 60K, and I said, your husband's telling me that there was money owed on the house. And she said, yes, there was. And I said, how much was it? And she said, $60,000. And I said, that's what he just told me too. See, that's how I get my confirmations as well. I write things down. So then he came through and he said, oh, tell her that I'm really sorry that I didn't get that $100,000 life insurance policy. So I actually played a game and I wrote down no. And I said, did he have life insurance? And she said no. And I said, he's already told me this because he wanted to let you know that he was really regretting not getting that $100,000 life insurance policy a few years ago. You know, but for him to be there in front of all those people mentioning that $25,000, I can imagine how uneasy he would have felt by mentioning that, you know, because money to people is always personal, you know. You can always say, oh, yeah, you lost your husband, you know, he died of cancer, he had a dog and blah, 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 blah. But as soon as you mention money, it's like, shh, no one wants to talk about that bit, you know. So for him to be standing there doing that and to control how that reading went, knowing that it was about money and the gold watch, you know, because that gold watch could have been very sentimental to her as well. You know, he did handle that quite well, and I've seen him a few times in videos, a lot more, whereas he can be very upbeat, you know, he's more forthcoming. So his mannerisms in that, I could actually tell that he was like, oh my God, I've got to mention this money in front of all these people. He was doing it to me. He was doing it to me, Mike. Well, yeah, because I don't like talking about money when it's in readings.
Just got a spammer that I've got to try and get rid of.
Oh, yeah, we'll get rid of that.
Anyway, I'll get rid of that after,
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it or not, but I've written it down at 1:41 on our time now, because our time now is 1:46.
Right.
So it's 5 minutes ago from now. There was a huge bang right here. I'll just turn my screen a little bit because I've got a cupboard here. See the cupboard? It was just here on the cupboard. There was a huge bang. Don't know what that was about. Not a gecko, because there's no geckos in here. They're our little lizards, Australian lizards that we have. Oh, actually, they're Asian lizards. They're brought over here illegally. But, yeah, there's nothing. I was looking. But, yeah, I've just heard a big bang here, so I don't know whether it actually came through the microphone or not. So I'm going to, you know, I always get off here. I sit down and I watch the show again. Yeah, just work out what that bloody bang was, because that sort of scared me right behind me. Just as we're talking about Roy Goodwin. You know?
Right. Okay.
It's all good. So what do you think of it, Mike?
Well, I like Colin Fry.
Sorry, Colin Fry. Yeah. I'm still on. I'm still on the Angel story here.
All right.
It's all good.
I've always found him very, very amiable, a very genuine medium. And
that's right.
I think here is a case of doing commercial show work with style and dignity.
Yes,
you know,
that's right.
In this public forum, so it can be done. Something I do when I do public performances, for want of a better phrase, is I tell people that no secrets are ever going to be told here, okay? And anything that's delicate, they'll either ask me to tell you privately, or they will put it in such a way that only you will understand this. But my guides actually would never talk about the money unless the personality of that person really didn't care.
Yes, that's right.
So that's just with me, but everyone works in different ways.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah. You know, I just, you know, to me, it's just that it's intimate, you know. So that's why I like doing readings one-on-one, because then I'm just open and I can, you know, it's like if you and I were sitting here in my house having a coffee and I say, hey, Mike, oh, by the way, you know, you don't have to worry about the opinions or the expectations or what anyone else in the room is going to think, you know. Yeah.
Well, Linda, we're right over schedule.
Oh my God,
if this was a taxi cab, this would cost us a fortune. This last 10 minutes.
Hey, and the ride's worth every minute there, Mike. Okay.
So, well, listen.
It's all good.
We got to say bye-bye for today.
I know.
We'll be back next week. If you got any information that you think is good for the show, send it along. You know the thing we're looking for. Any angel stories that we can put up, please do.
Yeah.
And we look forward to your company next week. Any closing?
That's right, guys.
Closing,
you know,
things?
Comment. If you want to see something like aliens, yetis, mermaids, starfish are real, mermaids or goblins or whatever, anything that you want us to research and find for you, give us a heads up, okay? So we can get it on the show and we can discuss it. Okay, but from Australia, it's 8:37 p.m. here, wherever you are on the planet. Morning, good evening, or good night.
Yep.
Hope you all have a wonderful day. Sleep well if you go into bed like I am shortly. You know, Mike's got a big day as usual because he's just eating his breakfast again.
It's 20 to 12 here in the afternoon. Yep. So,
good man.
So,
all right, guys.
Everyone, Jeff says the Ned Kelly video. Okay, we're looking at that. Thank you, Angelica. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, everyone. Joanne, thank you. She enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. It's all about connection. It's all about
that's right.
Togetherness. It's all about keeping the energy together, and we're sending out a ripple. And make no mistake, we're making a change to this world by doing something like this together.
Absolutely we are. You know, so the more you guys interact with us, the better that energy's getting built.
Yeah.
You know, so please be a part of next week's show. Give us a heads up of anything you want on there. Guys, yeah.
We'll see you next week. Linda, I'll see you on the other side.
See you on the flip side. Yep. Goodbye, guys.
Bye-bye.